Well, hello world, welcome to Raccoon Point Studios. I'm Sean Bombs. Today we have the BOSS GT8 in the studio. It's a multi-effects processor, and the reason I'm doing this is because Black Friday is around the corner, and I know we all want to buy that brand new gear, and you might see a bunch of these multi-effects units on sale. Not really sure, I haven't looked, but you know, usually they're $100 off here and there for different multi-effects units, and you know, all the ones that I've seen are $700 to $3,000. Really depends. But even the $700 ones aren't going to have an expression pedal. They're not going to have all these knobs. Some of them you're going to have to hook up to a computer or an iPad just to get to some of the functions. And that's kind of a drag. So I just figured I'd make the case for the BOSS GT8. It's not going to sound as amazing as the newer stuff as far as the modeling goes, but you will get sounds that are usable as far as for practicing at home or maybe scratch tracking, for coming up with quick ideas, you know, before you bring them to band practice or before you record with your band. Maybe you just want to get some ideas. But some people this might be their jam for actual use of live performance and recording. That being said, let me just go over some of the ins and outs and the knobs and all that other fun stuff, and then I'll go through some of the sounds. And you already heard everything that I played in that little jam session was through this. Even the bass went through it. I wouldn't recommend using the bass through it. It wasn't that great, but still. So let's go through the I/O first. We have your AC in, your power button back here, MIDI in and out, which is awesome. You have digital out on a coaxial output, so that means most people will have an interface. If it's a desktop interface, a lot of them have ADAT in, which is on a Toslink connection. So you will have to get a converter, but you can get them for $20 to $30 on Amazon. The one I bought is USB powered. So the only thing with the BOSS GT8 is it only really supports 44.1. Not sure if that matters if you're using something like the Apollo, because it does have that sample rate conversion. I think it has. So you could probably use that and it'd be fine. Moving on. You have this expression control jack right here, and you can hook up I guess you could hook up a tap tempo switch and an expression pedal to that. I haven't tried it, but that's really cool because you already have this expression pedal that you can use for expression or volume or anything else. And then you could also hook up something right next to it and use that for whatever you want. Then you have amp control. Certain amps, I'm sure you can control their clean sound and their overdrive from this. Then you have your effects loop back here, and that's for hooking up any kind of other pedal that you might have that you might want to put in between there, and it'll go in between different effects, I'm assuming. And that way you're not running it after this or before this. You're kind of running in between everything, so you can have a little bit more control maybe. And then you have a headphone out, so that's really good. So if you're, you know, in an apartment complex, or you have you know, a lot of people you live with or whatever, you just need to be quiet, and you just can hook up your headphones and have some killer tones. And then you have your left and right out here, and then you have an overall level, which is great because then if you did use this live, you would use that overall level to feed to the front of house, and then you have a little bit more control there. And then you have your input for your guitar. And then let's go through here. So everything's broken up into little sections. So this is your patch level overall for each preset that you might build. And then you have over here is your preamp speaker section. So that's your half stack or your combo amp. And you have the type, gain, bass, mid, treble, presence, level. And then you have channel A and B, so you can switch. Some of this you can change speaker selection with the preamp, and then it actually does have what mic it is and all that kind of stuff. So for 2005, I think it was a little bit ahead of the curve. I know that stuff was starting to happen like that, but still, it had all that stuff, and I found that pretty amusing. I had it on the twin reverb setting, and then I like that setting, but I haven't really went too far into this. I just really got it and just started messing around with it. This section right here is your distortion. So you have fuzz and overdrives, and then you have your drive section and your overall level for the distortion. And also this type variation button's cool because depending on what selection you're on, it gives you 3 different types in that selection. So if you're on the fuzz, it'll give you 60s fuzz, big muff, and octafuzz. If you have this you know, up on the screen when you're messing with it, it'll show you that it's in focus. When it's in focus, that means you can go to here to the parameter and scroll to the right, and it'll give you like EQ and stuff like that for the drives. Moving on, this section right here is your delay. You have your feedback and your level right at your fingertips. You have a little tap tempo here that you can use with your finger, but you can also program this to handle the tap tempo. And you have like, I think 6 different delays. The one I was just using was dual delay, and that gives you that U2 style delay where you put one delay on the left side, and that's at one tempo, and then the other one's at another tempo. Not tempo, but I mean note, whatever it's called, intervals. So excuse me, I'm just tired, but anyway, you can have them bouncing in different times, and it gives a rhythmic feel like that U2 type sound. And then you have your chorus, and that's just, they just give you an overall level for that. But you know, I'm sure you set it. If you're like me, you find that the sweet spot for your chorus, and then that's it anyway. And then you have reverb, and you have a few different styles of reverbs here too, and you know, they're pretty good. My favorite was the modulate, and that's what I was using as well. And then right here you have other stuff. So you have your compression, EQ, wah. This loop button is for the external loop over here for your external effects. Then you have effects 1 and effects 2, which is all this stuff right here, and they give you a nice amount of effects. You also have amp control, and then your master, and when you hit the master, it gives you patch level, master BPM, foot volume, and noise suppressor. So this has a noise suppressor, it has a tuner. You have global EQ, you have total reverb. You can make presets, like I said, and you can put all that stuff in here. You can put the words in here. You see bombs, F2. I made a preset for it. You can put it in manual mode. So if you put it in manual mode, then these 4 buttons act as stops. So you would have your amp select, overdrive, delay, chorus. And if you wanted to, you could program this to be your reverb, I guess. That's how you wanted to use it. Because you will have, when you make presets, there will be a split second between sounds when you're switching. Nothing crazy. You could time it up pretty good if you're, you know, good like that. You can also have your delays trail, so you can go from one sound to the next sound, and the delay or reverb can carry over, and you don't have to worry about it just cutting off and sounding choppy. And I think that's basically all I want to say about it. I'm just going to go through the sounds that I was playing and mess around a little bit just to give you an idea of what you can do with it. Let me put the guitar on. So I got it on the first preset that I made, and as you can see, it's Bombs U2 because I'm stupid. And here it is. And I have it mixed with chorus and reverb, and like I said, it was on the twin reverb combo amp sound. So, and there's a little bit of compression. So I'm going to turn off the delay, and if you just hit these buttons twice, you see it turns off, and now it is just the amp with compression on. Turn the compressor off. And That's actually a pretty good compression sound, I think. And for me, the thing I like about this in particular is the clean sound is pretty good. I haven't really cared that much for the overdrive sounds, but I haven't spent days and days with this, you know. I just found sounds that I like quickly, and that's what I'm sharing with you. So I'm going to put back the delay, whoops, and the chorus, and the reverb. And now just the reverb. And that's not bad either. So I find that's pretty good. You can get it to be more than that, so I'll show you real quick. So now that this is in focus, you see, I can just go over here, and there's my reverb time. It's at 2.87 or 2.8 seconds. I can go up to 10 seconds. I don't think that's really, I mean, it fades out really quick. But I like that. And then let's jump over to the chorus, and it's on stereo right now. And I'm gonna put the rate down, and the depth up as high as it can go. And you see you have low cut and high cut, and that's for the effect. So that's not your dry signal that it's affecting. And then your effect level, I'm going to turn that all the way up, and we'll see what that sounds like. And then you mix that with the reverb. And then I'm going to come back to the delay. We're moving backwards, so we are there. So when you want to move around types, you see, so that's single delay. So that's basically just a regular digital delay. You have your pan. And you can dog face all day. Wait, hold on. There we go. Now we can dog face all day. Anyway, Tracy Morgan joke. Reverse. And analog. Tape. Warp. And modulate. So there's not much difference, I feel like, between a lot of those as far as the tape, modulate, and analog. They're kind of, I won't say that they're same, but the differences are very subtle in comparison to other pedals that do those kind of sounds. Alright, so that's the delay. Let's check out the fuzz. Like when I said before, if you hit this, it's going to change it, and now it's 60s fuzz. We'll turn the drive up a little bit more. And then you have an octafuzz. And, you know, to my ears, it sounds digital, because it is digital, but it sounds a little bit more digital than what's out there these days. But can it get you there? Yeah, it can work for certain things, and it definitely can work for practice or getting tracking done. So getting ideas out quickly without spending $2,000 on a Kemper or something like that. And no offense to any of that stuff, it's all great, but if you want to save some money, again, that's why I'm doing this. So let's check out, what's this? We got metal. Hey, let's check out the metal, dudes. Metal zone through a twin reverb, huh? I'm fucking cold. And let's go to something else. Let's see, Distortion Plus. And Rat. see what the EQ does. I have it on the 60s Fuzz, and I'm going to poke it in and poke it out. That's what I'm all about. So let's see what the big muffle sound like. In. So, you know, you can take this thing and just dial in stuff. Yes, some of the distortions and fuzzes are noisy if you just take time with. I mean, I'm only using it with this one twin reverb. I don't know what any of these things will be like with all the other preamp speaker combinations, but you could really dial in some stuff. And I know you can also have two different amps going at the same time and have them pan left and right in this thing and have this big, like almost double tracked guitar sound. And that's also a plus about it too. If you just want to practice and feel like you're on stage with a big wallop sound, this can do that. The sky is the limit, I guess. If I helped you out, if I saved you some money, whatever, hit the like button, share it, whatever. Like I said, $200, you should be able to find this on Reverb or any of the other places where you find used gear. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.